When I was younger, I always thought that when you do a good job at your role, you will get to move up within the company. You excelling will be noticed. You'll get to climb up within the company. You'll get to move up within the ranks. That's what I always thought, and that does often happen. But when I was younger, I had no idea that there was an alternative scenario. And with that alternative scenario, if you are too good at your job, you might end up getting held hostage in that role. That happened to me at so many of the jobs that I had when I was younger. I worked in sales and customer service for a really long time. I admit that I got useless degrees because I didn't have any guidance when I was heading off to college. I'm the third oldest out of eight, so I kind of had to figure it out on my own. And so I couldn't really, I wasn't really cut out for blue collar work when I was younger, but then at the same time, I also didn't qualify for really high paying white collar roles. And so that in between role that you take is basically working in a call center. I worked for pretty amazing companies. The pay was okay, the benefits were okay. Some of the people I worked with were okay, but the role itself is pretty stressful. So I'm not really a salesman, but I do have good interpersonal skills and I'm good at explaining things. I'm good at communicating, which translates well into sales. So I always excelled as a salesman. But the thing is, for the longest time, I thought that I would get to move up within the company. Like I thought I would go from being a sales representative to being a sales manager or being a trainer or a quality assurance specialist. The reason why I thought like that is because number one, at all of my previous sales jobs, because of the way I communicated with the customers, my managers would always take my phone calls and play them for the executives. And they used to also take my phone calls and play them in the training classes. And this was at three of my previous sales jobs. This used to happen. And so I would always I would like keep asking to be like a sales manager or a quality assurance specialist or a trainer. I really wanted to be a trainer. I wanted to be a teacher when I was younger. I'm naturally good at explaining things. I've always been good at explaining things. One of my previous jobs, we had to read from a script, and they used to always rewrite the script based off of my phone calls because of the way I communicated. And I used to try so hard to move out of the sales role, but because I was one of the top salesmen, I was never able to move out of the sales roles at any of my previous jobs. So I basically got pigeonholed as like a sales call center representative at all my previous jobs. And I really don't even like sales that much, but the money was good and I did have some stability because the turnover rates in sales roles are high. So they try to keep people around. People leave on their own, so they'll try to keep you around. And that's just something that I didn't think would happen, like getting held hostage in one role and you see other people get to move up. Um, Plus, there's another thing that comes with getting held hostage in one particular role. So not only is it that you're too good at that role, but then there's the other part of it. Sometimes your managers get attached to you and they start acting as if you're their property and you belong to them and you're not allowed to ever leave them. Some managers and supervisors, they have that mindset. All the managers that I've had over the years that were like that towards me, I always got along with all of them with the exception of one. They all really liked me, but they still kind of, I felt like they were being a bit possessive. Like they were acting as if I wasn't allowed to ever leave them. And that held me back. That held me back because later on when I went looking for other jobs, recruiters would keep asking me, why were you in those same roles for so long? Did you ever try to be a sales manager? Did you ever try to be a trainer? Did you ever try to move up? And their tone of voice when they ask me that is always so judgmental. Like when I'm in a job interview and recruiters or hiring managers ask me that, their tone of voice is so judgmental. But then I explained to them I was always one of the top salesmen, so I basically, got pigeonholed. And then they sound a bit more understanding. But wasted a lot of time being stuck in roles I didn't really want to be in. And I didn't actually absolutely hate the roles, just you just grow out of things and you want to move up and do something different. But A, you're too good at what you do, so you get pigeonholed. B, sometimes your managers, when they like you or when they don't like you, they get attached to you and they start telling themselves that you belong to them and you're not allowed to ever leave them. Some managers are like that. And yeah, that's something that happens in the corporate world. At my previous jobs, if I wanted to move up and, I felt like I was being held hostage, I pretty much just had to leave the company, which is unfortunate because I worked at some really nice companies in the past, but I always end up in these scenarios that I don't want to be in and that I don't deserve to be in. So